felt I was at a stage in my career where I had a better story to tell. I was, I am in my 20s scaling a company, and we really are scaling and we really are growing, and there's problems, there's issues, there's great times, there's sad times, and everything that comes in between that I want to showcase and help people, and even if it helps one person, that's amazing. That's exactly what you want.
Hi and welcome to episode 49 of the Employee Content Marketing Pod, and this is the first time I'm in a studio. Great place in Shoreditch, and there's a great setup here. So I'm delighted to have Conor Cotton with me today. Conor is MD of Not Going to Uni. So I'm chatting with him about his own vlog and how he's used that to raise his own profile, but also the profile of the business that he's leading. So let's get on with the chat. Hi Conor, how are you doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for joining. This is
Pleasure.
the first time we've got the podcast in studio, trying out the video podcast. And what I wanted to do is, we've had you back on the podcast a good few months ago.
Yeah.
In fact, God, I can't remember even
well
what it was.
Well over a year.
I think we're in the teens in terms of episode numbers.
Yes.
I think it was like 11 or 12.
Early days.
We're now up to 47, 48 episodes. So, but what I want to do is get you back on, because since we last spoke, you can tell me a bit about what you've been up to, but I would particularly want to talk about the vlog that you've been doing. So before we get on that, let's do a bit of an intro. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so hell of a lot of change since that last episode. So I moved back across to Not Going to Uni, which is actually where I started my career in the early career space. Initially as the commercial director back in January 2021, it would have been.
Okay, yeah.
And then in September 2021, actually became the managing director of Not Going to Uni, because the previous managing director was starting to semi-retire, and the business was at that stage for its next level of growth and next stage of its journey. So took over the business then, and it's certainly been a big culture shock to say the least, but it's all good, it's all fun.
And the good thing about Not Going to Uni is that it kind of does what it says on the tin, yeah?
Oh, yeah. And it's obviously a brand close to my heart. It was my first full-time job was at Not Going to Uni, and I didn't go to uni. So I'm kind of walking proof of what Not Going to Uni does as well, which I think is really nice and authentic as well. It's not like there are a number of people that work in this industry who actually do have degrees and so on and so forth, whereas actually I am living walking proof of what we're trying to practice and preach to young people across the country.
Nice. And there's like, what were you in terms of what Not Going to Uni has to offer? What's your offering in the market? So
originally we were just a jobs board, the Not Going to Uni website that a lot of people know, which still exists and is still very much part of the business. But what we've transpired to be now is a bit more of a marketing agency really for early careers employers looking to hire school and college leavers at 16 plus or 18 plus. Okay. We're not just a job board anymore. We now work across creative content, some of which we worked on with you.
Absolutely,
with the Royal Air Force.
Loving it,
we have recruitment services for supporting clients with shortlisting and things like that. We have an in-house social agency, Inspire, where we work with influencers and you name it. So we're trying to be really end-to-end for anyone who wants to hire apprentices and school leavers, not just being one part of that strategy, but actually the whole strategy, if that's what you want.
Well, it's been great seeing how far Not Going to Uni's come, but also what you've been doing over the last year and a half there for sure. It's say in particular what stood out for me is what you've been doing online in terms of your kind of your own personal brand and how that's connected with the Not Going to Uni brand. But a big part of it is being your vlog. So tell us a bit about your vlog.
Yeah, so it was something I'd actually toyed with the idea of doing a couple of years ago actually, when I was at SpringPod. At the time, Steve Bartlett was doing one. He was in his second series when he was in New York, when Social Chain was scaling out there. At the time, Casey Neistat was in and out of daily vlogging, big idol of mine. And a number of other people were toying with it. The Daily Goat, which the Goat agency did, was another big inspiration. So I toyed with the idea at the time, but didn't feel I was at a stage in my career and in my journey where I could add enough value. I wanted to make sure what I put together was going to add value and have benefit. When I transitioned to the managing director role and Not Going to Uni, I thought, hold on, why don't I be the person I was crying out for when I was growing up and I had aspirations of running a business? There wasn't many people out there doing the content that I'm doing. You had Steve Bartlett from sort of the 2018 mark or 2017 mark doing it. Obviously Casey Neistat. There's an element of business to what Casey Neistat did, and definitely probably the go-to of vlogging, to say the least. And then you had, things like the Daily Goat and so on, but they were about the whole brand. There wasn't really anything about that one specific individual.
With Gary V as well, Mr. V.
Yeah, Gary V has Daily V, which again, and Weekly V, and I know it's changed so many different types of content that he's put out. So there was a lot of inspirations, but there wasn't anything that I found completely relatable. So I thought, why don't I do something and be the person that I was looking out for when I was younger? And I felt I was at a stage in my career where I had a better story to tell. I was, I am in my 20s scaling a company, and we really are scaling and we really are growing. And there's problems, there's issues, there's great times, there's sad times, and everything that comes in between that I want to showcase and help people. And even if it helps one person, that's amazing. That's exactly what you want.
I think it's particularly, for me, compelling is that, and you've touched on this already, is that you didn't go to uni.
Yeah.
You are kind of a story, one of the many stories of not going to uni. And I think, being MD and seeing your progression and you learning things and implementing things you've already learned, that kind of thing, is, I think, really, really interesting. And why else the vlog? What are the reasons did you create the vlog?
So I had when I left school, I had this whole identity crisis where I spent 2 years trying to figure out who I was. And a lot of that was because of not actually knowing who my role models were exactly. I had certain people like Casey Neistat, Gary V, who I always followed. And once I'd kind of got into my flow, that I was like, right, I want to be my authentic self. I want to show my authentic self. I think there's especially in business, we have this kind of hustle porn culture around business. Powell, you just watch The Apprentice, Powell walking suits, walking down across the Millennium Bridge and things like this, and you kind of sit there and you're like, it's not really how it works. I mean, trainers
in the 1980s.
Yeah, I mean trainers, jeans, and a hoodie. And sometimes I'm working in my gym clothes, 'cause I've come back from the gym, and I wanted to show that actually business is not done, how people necessarily think. I want to be authentic. I want that glass box approach to being an MD, a CEO of a company. Ben Francis is doing it really well at Gymshark. He's sharing everything. Another really modern day entrepreneur, really modern day CEO who's broken down those barriers. So I kind of idolised what he was doing, and I thought that's really cool. That idea of being your authentic self and showing what modern day business is actually like now. Whether that be the clothes you're wearing, whether that be the way you go about doing your day, the new systems that are introduced with things like Notion and things me and you have been speaking about. I wanted to just show everything, warts and all, because I really feel passionately about that glass box approach to thing, because that also has benefit for our culture as a business internally. Because the staff watch the vlog. They have benefit from watching it and following what I'm doing, because it's very hard for me to be in their pockets, if you get what I mean, in terms of, they don't know everything I do, but they get this 20-30 minute vlog or 15-minute vlog where they can find out everything that's happened in the month that they may have missed, which is really nice for our culture and what we're doing. So there's been so many different benefits, but they're just some of the reasons. I could sit here all day and list why we did it.
Well, actually, it's like, that's a really good point you make about your team seeing what you're up to, because leaders of businesses can be seen as being kind of, the classic thing of open door policy. We're always here if you want to ask questions. I think there is an element of kind of they're detached from the rest of the business, and maybe especially people starting out in their career thinking, oh well, they're really high up in the company. Should I really approach them? And so I think it makes it a lot more personable, makes you a lot more approachable.
100%. I tell everyone in one-to-ones and things, my door's always open. No one really ever takes that advice, but that's human nature. You usually only find things out when there's an issue, and people only tell you when you've missed telling them things. Do you know what I mean? That's just human nature. That's what we're like as humans. So doing the vlog allows them to see the things that I might have missed, because believe me, I forget to tell people things and all that other stuff all the time. So it's been really nice to actually say to people, watch this. If you feel like you've missed anything or you're not in the loop of what's going on, this hopefully gives you a summary. Yeah. We are very good at sharing internally, weekly roundups, Slack, all these things. But like you said, as a someone running the company, when you look at a lot of the age-old businesses out there, the MD sits on the top floor in a corner office with his door shut. And the new exec doesn't ever see them. But I didn't want that. I wanted everyone to have a piece of me and be able to interact with me and be able to have engagement with me and be able to, and in turn see that in the vlog. I want people who watch the vlog to realise that I'm very hands-on. I'm not just sat in an office, doing my own thing. Actually, I am, practice what I preach, and I'm really very involved in the company.
Oh, it's great to see. And you're now, how many months you've done now? You did December?
Yeah, so we're five months in?
Yeah,
6 months in. So it's been, every vlog gets better because, when I first did it, it was kind of figuring out how to record. I remember filming my first clip and I sat there afterwards and I was like, that was weird. It was just really, not inauthentic because it was very authentic, but it just felt weird because, I was sat in my home office filming myself, I bought a ring light from Home Bargains.
Nice.
Put my phone on a ring light, switched the ring light on and was like, right, let's talk to my camera for a bit.
Yeah.
Then it slowly got better and I'm getting in the habit of recording things, and Tyler, who's the guy who edits the vlogs, always nags me on, make sure you record that, and I'll put something on my Instagram story, like where I am, and Tyler will just message me and be like, make sure you record.
Yeah, good.
But I'm getting better at doing that. So each vlog, and I think over the next year, you'll see a transition in how the vlog changes. There's things Tyler and I want to do with the vlog, like try new things. For example, there's going to be a day hopefully in May, where Tyler's literally going to follow me around for a day.
Yeah, awesome.
With a camera. When we go to Birmingham or Manchester, we're toying between the two, depending on how meetings line up. And Tyler's going to follow my day. And we're going to incorporate that and see how that does. And,
nice.
Try different things. Try like almost like a Q&A part of the vlog and so on. Because we just want to use this first year to trial and error. See what works, see what doesn't work, see what people like. And see what people want to see more of, more importantly, as well.
I think actually there's that thing about just starting, isn't there? Because someone could go, right, well, I want it to be someone following me around for the whole day.
Yeah.
And that's that could be a barrier to actually doing it. So the fact you just got on and did it is I think is really fantastic. And that for me is a big takeaway, which is just start somewhere, do it, get used to doing it yourself, and know that it gets, that it gets better. So how do you people listening, watching, they're thinking, well, I've thought about doing something, or this sounds like a good idea. How do you get started, and how do you maintain it as well? What do you do to keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, consistency is a really big part of doing it because I've seen, because I'm a bit of a business nerd. Whenever there's a new business vlog, I'll always watch it, and I've seen so many do 2 months and vanish. So consistency is important, even if you only put out 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consistency is really important because otherwise you're never going to build on it.
Yeah.
And the moment you miss 1 month, you're going to miss the next month, and then you get in that rigmarole of just stopping doing it. So consistency is really important. You can film on your phone. Yeah. Most smartphones are good enough, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's a Samsung, whether it's a Google Pixel, whatever phone you've got, even an iPad, even a laptop with a webcam, you have an ability to record. You don't, I really want one of those vlogging cameras, which I know you have, with the flip out screen, and they're amazing. And I will get to that stage when we invest a bit more money in the vlog, because that is part of our next phase of growth, but you can start with your phone.
Well, these are great, the iPhone 13 Pro Max.
The cameras are as good as some SLRs, and and it's so easy because it's always on you.
Yeah,
we're in a day and age where your phone is never not on you unless you have a social media detox or whatever. But even then, you're probably going to have or someone you're with is going to have a phone on you. And if you've got a partner, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, they can record you. There's always. It's just about not making an excuse. It's just kind of doing it. Like I said, just film that first clip. And then maybe set your phone up and time lapse you. And then you just, slowly you feel confident, slowly you feel comfortable doing it. The biggest sort of stage, that's one thing, doing it just, sat at home. But the next stage is then doing it in public.
Yeah.
But again, it's about taking it each step at a time, not just running all the way and grabbing a tripod and going outside and running through the streets of London. but doing it a little bit by little bit, getting yourself a bit more confident, and then eventually it will click in together and 100%. It will come together.
So what I did with this podcast was basically start somewhere. I was up in one of the rooms at home, just with my phone out and just recording the intro.
Of course,
just starting somewhere. I think that's really. How do you do you allocate like a day a week, or how do you kind of fit it into your kind of daily and weekly schedule? Yeah,
so obviously if I'm going somewhere, such as today, I'll always try and get like B-roll and things like that, and then I'll always make sure, usually at the start or the end of the week, I summarise my week.
Yeah, nice.
So every week there will be a summary of either what's happening or what's happened, and then there'll be B-roll. Yesterday, for example, I was working on some system implementation with Laura, our head of marketing, with Asana and this app called Fellow and things like that. So I did a piece, because I sat there and I was like, actually, I'm going to do a piece about systems.
Yeah, nice.
And how incorporating systems in a business, because it's new to me. I'm learning as I do it, so I'm going to share that. I'm going to share. So there are some things that are planned, doing a summary of the week, filming B-roll when I'm out and about, things like that. And there's other things that are very spontaneous. I will randomly think of something. I think that's going to be really good. Let's record that. And then you've got things like, occasionally I'll get a question from someone on LinkedIn. They'll be like, hi, I love the vlog. Could you answer this? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. So there was one in, I think, the second vlog where someone asked about what the next 12 to 24 months of not going to uni's growth was going to look like. So I answered that. I set some time to answer that and think about that a little bit further. So it's a mixture. It's really a mixture of planned and spontaneous, depending on how my week goes. Because the nature of, as you know, running your own business, the nature of running a company is, what you've got planned and what happens can be two very different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because things will happen at random times. There are some sensitive things I can't share that I'd love to share because, whether it be a client project we can't share or whether it be like HR kind of thing. But sometimes I feel like I want to share it because there's learnings from it. But I'm trying to get in the habit of sharing anything where I feel challenged or I feel like actually someone else is going to have this issue or someone else is going to experience this. I want to try and share it. Yeah. So it's really authentic and it's, like we said, it's really glass box as well.
That's an example of obviously that marketeers talk about a lot, that valuable content. It's not. This is not going to uni, and this is what we have to offer. It's stuff that is actually going to be a utility for people as opposed to an insight into what you do in the business.
That's really interesting. That bit of this is not going to uni. What I didn't want it to be was this is all the great stuff not going to uni can do every month, because that's not what it's. It's not a B2B tool necessarily. We will organically get people watch it and be like, oh, these guys are cool, maybe I should work with them. That organically that will happen. The Goat agency, that happened,
massively.
All of these companies have that, but it's not about that. It's actually about my journey and hopefully helping entrepreneurs, people who want to run their own company, people that are running their own company, whatever that may be. I didn't just want it to be a not going to uni hammering down the throats of the people. I wanted it to be much more than that.
I suppose there's only so much you can say for just talking about not going
to uni. Otherwise, a year's worth of vlogs is just going to be like a long sales pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the point? It feels like a waste of time. It's a waste of my time, Tyler's time, everyone else's time.
And so, look, when you got Tyler who's editing the the videos for you, he's giving you prompts and everything. What if someone's like, well, you know what, we've got someone who does video for us already, but they're too busy, or do I have to get someone to be able to do this? Where do you start if you haven't got a Tyler?
Yeah, so obviously there are tools now like things like Fiverr and so on where you can get video editors. I know some people who have not, like in the gaming sphere, who have launched like videos and they pay someone on Fiverr to do their edits, and it's it's quite cheap. You're always going to have some costs with launching things. Or learn yourself. I've looked at brushing up my skills on certain editing things. The beauty of not going to uni is where we've got the in-house content production side of things. We've obviously got that in-house, so I haven't had to learn too much. I've learned the basics because more out of interest than a necessity. But once I learned the basics, I kind of sat back, and I don't want to say that it's easy because it's not easy because there's a lot to it. But I could very basically put an edit together. It would not look as good as what Tyler can do. It would probably, people would look at it and be like, this is crap. But in terms of putting something together and piecing it together, it's doable. One thing I said to someone the other day who was asking about, I was like, why don't you just record a couple of like selfie-like videos, go on TikTok, edit it together. There you go. There's your first vlog.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, it's anyone can use TikTok. You know, my 8-year-old niece can use TikTok. She knows how to piece together a video. You know, it's not the same level of a vlog edit at all.
But it's a studio in your pocket, isn't it?
But it's a studio in your pocket. It's a mini, 30-second, 1-minute vlog you can put together really easily, and it just gets you in that mindset of thinking creatively, thinking, overlaying music over it, how to chop things up on a very basic level.
Yeah.
Then you might do that. Then you might save a bit of money on the side and think, do you know what, I'm going to pay a Fiverr editor to edit stuff, or I'm going to find a freelancer in London who's going to do it for me, or my mate's dad who is going to do it for me, or however that transpires long term.
Well, I do this actually. I tend to edit myself at the moment.
Yeah.
Where I will. It's a bit like you. I like to get my hands dirty with it, just to kind of. I mean, I've been involved in video for like years, but I've always had someone else doing the filming and doing the editing. Yeah. So I think for me, as a learning the craft a bit more is really, really, really useful. And I've learned a lot over the years, but doing it myself is really good. What I've done is like think, well, I can't take the camera out, I can't take the Canon out, so I will just get my phone out, and you know what?
Yeah.
On the train ride back, I'll just get Vix out. A video editing app and just do something. Chop it together, And actually, sometimes that content is even better than the stuff when I sit down in front of a desktop computer and edit it.
And it's fun, it's fun. I enjoy recording the vlog. It's fun. It's a bit like therapy, talking to a camera in a really weird way. It's the best therapy. I get so many people say like, "Oh, you should do yoga and things like this," and I'm like, "Do a vlog."
Yeah.
It's kind of like therapy. It's not exactly the same, but there's an element of sometimes I speak about something, and some of the clips don't make it to the vlog. But sometimes I'll speak about something, and at the end I'm like, I've just solved my own problem.
Yeah.
I've just vented to my camera, my phone, and now I feel better.
Yeah,
and so there's also that element of therapy with it, and things like the edits people find really therapeutic sometimes. It's just that nice feeling seeing something come together.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether someone else edits it or you edit it, but when you then see the finished product, there's that sort of pride element as well. Of, wow, this is cool. I like this. Even if you say, if you say so yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think actually it's like, obviously, in marketing, there's understandably and rightly so a lot of talk about the audience. You've got to do it for the audience, but there is an element of just doing it for yourself as well.
I think, you've got to think about, number one, I wouldn't do the vlog if I didn't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Go figure. If I didn't want to do the vlog, I wouldn't do the vlog.
Yeah, well, don't.
But I want to do the vlog because, like I said, there's other elements. It's like therapy. I enjoy doing it. When I see a finished product at the end, I think, oh, this is cool. I like this. This is what I would have watched.
Yeah,
nice. when I was going through those initial stages of my career, and still watch.
Yeah.
I still watch Ben Francis' videos, Gary V's videos, Stephen Bartlett's videos and podcasts. I still watch all of that because I'm still learning. So it's about I think that's the key with content is like if you're sat there and you're thinking I want to create something, it's create something you would watch, create something that you would engage with, because it will then be more authentic because. It meets your passions, it ties in with what you would engage with. So hopefully you're going to create something that's really good at the end of the day.
100%. It's like you've been putting this out on, I've seen it on LinkedIn in particular, but you've put out on Instagram as well.
Yeah, TikTok, it's Twitter. Nice. So I put it cross platforms. Sometimes send it directly to people, especially people that are mentioned in it. And what I've also tried to do is, as you'd have seen, and if anyone watches it, is also try to include outside of work. So, my family watch it.
Yeah, lovely.
Imogen, my girlfriend watches it because I want it to be authentic. I'm a managing director. By the way, I do have a life. This whole hustle porn thing. Absolutely. I work late sometimes and these things happen, but I do also have a life. I go away with Imogen, we walk the dog, I go to the gym, but also sometimes I don't do those things. So I want it to be really mega authentic, and so I've got another audience, which is actually my family, who are just nosy. My nana will watch it and message me and be like, "Oh, I love your vlog."
They finally know what you do. What you really do.
Not that they still can't explain it. My dad is, the moment I post about the vlog on Twitter, he's a PE teacher, so he should be teaching. The moment I post it on Twitter, he's one of the first people to like it and watch it. Yeah. And so, because I don't live with my dad or anything, so I guess for him, it's kind of a way of seeing what's going on in my life and what's going on in the world. In my world and the not going to uni world. So I've also got that whatever happens, I've always got my family as an audience for it.
Yeah, too right. And how's it gone down, in terms of like reach and engagement?
Yeah, I haven't got the numbers off the top of my head, but in terms of, the feedback's been phenomenal. I've had so many people message me like, I really love this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those people work in the early careers industry, and this goes back to a point I made at the start, when you look at the early careers industry, and you look at a lot of the businesses that are similar-ish to not going to uni, they're run by older people
Yep.
who all went to uni.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people have said to me is it's amazing because you're literally being the brand in your vlog. You're being this young MD not going to uni, learning to run a company. I'm doing an apprenticeship in business whilst running a company. It's that. That's the feedback I'm getting for everyone. On LinkedIn, it's been amazing. A lot of the posts where I share the vlog have received 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 views.
Yeah, lovely.
Which has been amazing. LinkedIn's probably the best performing, but that's to be expected because it's a business platform. But like I said at the start, it's not necessarily about views for me. If one young MD or young wannabe business person watches it and gets some value from it, I'm more than happy. More than happy. We received a message, funny enough, on Instagram a few weeks ago I put it on my Instagram from someone saying that not going to uni changed their life. If someone says that watching a vlog...
I saw that, yeah.
Awesome. Someone
Brilliant.
said watching a vlog, really helped me, get my life on the straight... I'd be like, that vlog is worth it. The vlog is worth it just for that one message. Because I think sometimes we put too much focus on those numbers, and it then means we try and create clickbait kind of content, and
there is that chasing. There's a thing about, and I think this stops people from doing it or continuing it. More importantly, is
chasing numbers.
If they're not getting like what others people have been doing for years, getting hundreds or thousands of people responding, then they think it's not worth it. And it is it's tough. You put stuff out there, you naturally, and this is typical of lots of creative people. You invest time in it, you put it out there, and what you only get, you don't get loads of people watching it. Well, they're busy doing stuff, and it takes time for them to kind of
consistency. I funny enough, the other day I went back and watched a couple of episodes of Everyday Steve. So Steve Bartlett's first ever vlog he did.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's quite interesting actually watching Dragon's Den and then watching that, because two very different Steves, obviously, because they're early stage of business. But those first few vlogs don't have lots of numbers.
No.
Don't have lots of comments. They have comments because at that time Social Chain was starting to get the PR coverage, hence he launched the vlog.
Yeah.
But, they weren't big numbers. So you've got to remember that. Gary Vee, Casey Neistat at one point were nobodies who no one knew. Obviously Casey Neistat, like I said, the GOAT of vlogging. Like, he is the GOAT of vlogging, when you go all the way back to his HBO series with his brother those days.
Yeah.
Well, he really was the GOAT of doing it. But again, he started at a point with nothing. I mean, if you listen to his story, he literally started with nothing, but the clothes on his back. So it's not a case going, well, I haven't got a million views, I'm just going to stop, because that takes time, consistency. Casey Neistat's a prime example. It was, 20 years of him video making plus? And then he got to the end, his end goal. Hence he stopped vlogging, because he was like, now I'm going to pursue my next thing. Don't focus on the numbers. Focus on the quality of content, and those things will come naturally off the back of it.
Well, actually, then we can wrap up. Actually, because I think you've got a tip there. Don't chase the numbers, and don't let small numbers put you off.
Yeah.
There's also the other thing about starting somewhere.
Yeah, just start.
Just get going. Get the phone out. Just film something.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, in an awesome studio to be able to do something like this. You can get to that point, which is what I'm doing with the podcast. I started with my phone, in my home office, just recording something, and then I'm progressing to this. What other kind of tips should we leave with listeners? Yeah,
absorb as much content as possible. If you think about doing it, go and absorb all the content that's out there.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because I've spoken about loads of different people's content I absorb, so that helped me, because it helped me in terms of like styles of doing things. Casey Neistat's style is very unique. The way Stephen did things was very unique and does things very unique. The way Gary Vee does things very unique. His is different because he has someone following him.
Yeah.
So go out there and actually absorb the content. before you do it and whilst you're doing it, because then you'll get the tips and tricks of the trade.
Yeah, good shout.
And like I said, learn a bit more about the craft. Like actually take an interest in videography, take an interest in editing, because you'll then learn tips and tricks for then creating the content.
Yeah,
so there's
absolutely.
certain things I know from listening to Tyler and listening to things about video editing and stuff that I now know to do because they help the editor or they help with the final product. So it's about not becoming a master, because it takes a long time to become a master, and you will become a master, but actually being a bit of a student.
Yeah, true.
Being a student of your vlog, actually. And you can potentially, if you're doing that kind of vlog, you can showcase that journey in your content. That could be part of what you're doing.
I think I'll add to that as well in terms of not seeing every single thing in life and in your day as an opportunity to shoot something, but thinking about, okay, what am I doing today? Is there something I could capture there? You know? And then just slots into your day to day, which means it's easier to do. Yeah. And all of a sudden you've got a vlog that's hit 5 months now, and long may it continue.
Long may it continue. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Join us in the studio. It's fantastic to be able to say that. But
good man. Thank you, mate.
Good stuff.